Deal flow. That relentless heartbeat at the core of every founder's, every investor's, every leader's journey. It's the fuel that powers growth, breakthroughs, survival. But what if the struggle getting deals, the constant chasing, the endless emails, the awkward pitches that fall flat, isn't just about strategy, skill, or contacts? What if the real missing link is something invisible, something so simple yet so powerful that most overlook it? That secret is presence. Think about it. How many times have deals slipped through your fingers, not because you lacked value, because your idea wasn't strong, but because the human connection fractured before it even began? How often has a promising opportunity died not for lack of potential, but for lack of presence? This presence isn't some buzzword or new age fluff. Presence is the core currency of influence, trust, and magnetic energy. Without it, no deal can flow. Without it, every conversation is just words floating in the void. Presence is that electric moment when the noise around you fades and it's just you and the other person, fully, unguardedly, completely there. It's when your energy matches theirs, when your authenticity cuts through the bullshit and touches something real inside them. People don't just buy a product or invest in a pitch, they buy the feeling you give them. They buy the certainty that this person is not just competent, but here, now, engaged, and fundamentally credible. Presence creates that certainty. It creates the invisible handshake before the handshake, the trust before the contract. But here's the brutal truth. Presence isn't something you can fake or conjure on demand by reading scripts or memorizing sales techniques. Presence is forged in the crucible of self-mastery, in the raw courage to be vulnerable, visible, and fully human at the edge of possibility. It means showing up not as a polished version of what you think others want, but as the version of yourself that burns with quiet power, raw honesty, and relentless clarity. And guess what? That kind of presence scares people, not always in a bad way. It challenges their assumptions, disrupts their comfort, and pulls them into a deeper space. That's the space where deals are born. So how do you build this presence? The answer isn't more meetings, it's more mind. Start by owning your inner state. Every deal, every conversation, every opportunity is preceded by a choice. What state will you bring? Anxiety? Desperation? Calm? Confidence? These states are not accidental. They are habits. The most successful founders and leaders train themselves relentlessly to inhabit a grounded, expansive state where distractions fall away and connection floods in. When you master your inner state, the outer game changes. Your words carry weight. Your energy compels action. Your confidence isn't arrogance, it's undeniable authenticity. Next, listen like everything depends on it, because it does. Not just hearing the surface words, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Real listening is a radical practice of presence itself. It says, I see you. I hear your pain, your hopes, your hidden fears. When you listen deeply, you make others feel alive, seen, and understood in a way that no data deck or business plan ever will. That kind of listening creates a magnetic field. It builds trust so powerful that obstacles collapse. Suddenly, deals that seemed impossible become inevitable. Presence also means showing up with a clear intention, but without attachment to results. This might sound strange. You need deals, yes, but pushing too hard or looking desperate kills presence. Ironically, when you detach from the outcome while still holding your intention fiercely, you lean into paradox. You give up control, but you gain influence. Imagine going into every conversation willing to lean back, absorb all signals, pivot when needed, and play the long game with patience that would shame empires. Deals born from this space have longer legs. They are curated from alignment rather than desperation. They are the fine threads woven from trust, chemistry, and mutual respect. And presence isn't meant to be a solo act. Real presence is made stronger, not weaker, by connection. It exists in the tension between you and the other person, a shared moment of co-creation, something almost sacred. This is where many founders and leaders fail. They move too fast, too shallow, too transactional. Presence calls for slowed-down breathing, calibrated eye contact, open posture, all tiny acts that signal openness and confidence. The best dealmakers are masters of creating that space where others can drop their masks and be real. That's rare, and rarity breeds demand. Now here's the raw, uncomfortable truth about why this matters. The system we live in is designed for compliance, for mediocrity dressed as success. It rewards noise, opacity, and shallow wins. It drowns out presence with busy work, distraction, and superficial metrics. That's why so many deals feel hollow. So many partners ultimately disappoint. The whole ecosystem is stuck in a loop, hustling to the next deal without presence, without depth, without the human spark that fuels true growth. If you want to break that loop, you must reclaim your presence as your fiercest weapon. The founders, investors, professionals, and leaders watching this right now, this message is for you. If you feel that restless fire inside that refuses to be tamed by the noise and lies of the system, understand this. Presence is your way out. Presence is the code that unlocks the gatekeepers. Presence is the truth that cuts through the system's illusions and connects you to the real power, the power of human alignment. But presence demands sacrifice. It asks for brutal honesty with yourself. It calls for shedding the comfort zones of politeness, small talk, and pretending. It demands that you show your scars, your raw edges, and your quiet strengths. Presence will expose your weaknesses and amplify your confidence all at once. It will make you vulnerable and invincible. And that's exactly why it works. So start now, right now, wherever you are. Stop multitasking. Breathe deeply 5 times. Feel your feet on the ground. Center your attention where your body meets the chair. This simple act alone begins to build presence. When you next enter a conversation, a pitch, a meeting, a negotiation, carry that centeredness with you like armor and invitation all at once. Watch how people shift around you. Watch how doors open with less force, how signals turn towards you when they once turned away. Here's the thing no one tells you. Presence is contagious. When you inhabit it fully, you don't just attract deals. You attract the right deals, the ones aligned with your vision, your values, your hunger for change. Presence creates an ecosystem of ripple effects. Investors feel it and bring their resources. Founders feel it and bring their grit. Leaders feel it and bring their momentum. It's not luck. It's not a formula. It's presence transforming scarcity into abundance. The future is not built in boardrooms stacked with PowerPoints or in markets blitzed by aggressive sales. The future is built in the energy you carry, the presence you wield, and the truth you embody. This is the real alpha move, the ultimate edge for the founders and investors ready to transcend failed systems and forge new realities. Presence is not a soft skill. It's a survival skill. It's your rebel cry against a world that wants you distracted, disconnected, and silent. This is your call, to burn past the noise, to shout through the crowd, to be seen not just as another player, but as a force that cannot be ignored. Presence is your gateway to more calls, more meetings, more yeses. But even more, it's your gateway to the right yeses, to collaborations that spark revolutions, investments that create legacies, partnerships that rewrite the rules. Be patient with the process. Cultivate presence daily. Make it your habit, your ritual, your rebellion against the mundane. Because here's the secret everyone misses. The moments you show up fully here, fully now, they are the moments that change everything. Deal flow isn't about the volume, it's about the vitality, the electric connection that makes deals not just happen, but explode into existence. Presence unlocks that. Embrace it, own it, live it, and watch as the world begins to gather around you, not because of what you have, but because of who you are when you are truly present.